Welcome back, Youngzers, episode 6, season 2. We got two cheersers. They're cheersing their little pumpkin spice lattes or whatever. Uh,
You put respect on the pumpkin cream cold brew, all right, from Starbucks. This stuff gets
I'm
me
not
out of bed in the
disrespecting. I'm
morning.
just saying, and pumpkin something.
No, disrespectful. He came in hot, Dan. He came in hot.
As we know, they say the basic. I'm not gonna finish that, but when it comes to this drink, yeah, I'll you can call me basic all you want because I get out of bed for this one.
Listen,
Well,
Dan, that's the kind
Coffee's
of
coffee to me. I don't know the difference between latte, mocha, chai, cold brew, whatever. I don't know.
One of those doesn't even have coffee in it. I can't remember what it is. It's just
Chai?
milk. It's just milk.
Yeah, or I don't know.
Here's the thing, Dan.
Yeah, bye.
We started off, nice little cheers. Ryan came in hot, kind of came out our throats a little
What do you
bit.
mean? I acknowledged the cheers. I could have just not acknowledged it at all and let you just go.
Don't cut me off. So,
Do
Dan,
your little antics where you want to, clink your glasses together, and
Dan,
I think I at least acknowledged it.
if we're playing Search and Destroy tonight, which we probably will be on a Sunday night,
I'll be on.
Whose back are you gonna have? Mine or Ryan's? Whenever it comes down to, I don't know, taking the angle away or making
You
sure
just
no
sit
one's.
in the corner with a ride shield, so no needs to cover your back.
I don't.
If you want me to be completely honest with you, I'm a team player. Unless your name is Frogerbo05, because then he just baits his team and throws for his personal stats. But let me be real clear here, real quick. A little off the rails for you. Since you brought up Search and Destroy, I took like 3 months off of that game. First game back, what did I do? Hard carried the team. DJ was nowhere to be found. I doubled his kills. I think I was like 16-3, something like that. I was destroying it. So it just shows that you can, the old dog, he still has it.
I wasn't
So,
sitting hard
you
carry.
remember
I was
that.
putting in like the amount I usually put in. It wasn't like I was dragging behind.
When someone says hard carried, it just means that I was top fragging. I had the most kills on the team, the most defense, stuff like that. So like I was up there and everybody else was just a notch below me. I'm not saying, it was a hard carry in my eyes because I took 3-4 months off of that game. I uninstalled it. I had to reinstall it to play with you guys. So just understand that.
So what I'm saying here is, I've been starting to rewatch Game of Thrones again. Just background, whatever. DJ is like a Targaryen. Would you say you were like Robert Baratheon coming in and just throwing away DJ?
Yes, it's mine. Give me my crown. Give it to me now. And like, here's the thing about DJ. He wants to talk all this smack and, you don't get the level 900 and this and that, buddy. I'm a level 401, something like that. I got to like level 400 in like the first 2 seasons. I couldn't put the game down. I have a Ryan camo. I play more mechanical games than you, more competitive games than you. He doesn't want to take a step in my realm, and that's the thing. I walked back into his realm where he thinks he's king, and I took over. He won't take a step in my realm. Why won't he play Rocket League against me? Why won't he play CSGO? Because he's scared. He knows who the superior gamer is here. I don't touch
he
grass.
wants to play home games. He don't want to play away games.
Right.
He'll play home or neutral site. He doesn't do away games.
But here's
That's
the
what
thing.
you're saying.
Yeah, here's the thing about his home game. I walked in, I kicked that door off the hinges, and I'm sitting on his couch right now eating his flaming hot Cheetos and his Sour Patch Kids, and there's not a damn thing he could do about it.
He's in the bathroom with the door open.
If this doesn't get him to come on the pod next week, or even address this at our live draft on YouTube next week for our fantasy football league, I mean, would you say he's officially ducking you? Because those are fighting words. Those are fighting words right there.
Ducking me? I don't think. I think he's smart enough and he knows that he can't win in this realm. He can't win in this situation. So I guess you could say he is ducking me, but I don't think it would go over well for him, even on the pod at the live event next week. I've showed in the gaming world who's superior. I've showed I have immaculate call-outs. I don't throw for my team. I don't bait my teammates. That's all I'm saying. I'm a team player. Okay.
Is there gonna be some controversy tonight when we fire up the gaming consoles?
I mean, yeah. And folks, I don't know if you guys want to stream on YouTube tonight under Youngzers, or if I'll stream later on my platform. But if you guys want to tune in, watch, give me your feedback on, hey, I'm carrying DJ. He's in the backpack. A little man, little man. I'm over here, little man in him, throwing him in the backpack.
I did talk to you yesterday about this. I do want to get in the stream, starting to stream as well. So I'm hoping within the next month I'll be able to, start streaming, talk some sports. When it comes to search, I'm the glue guy. I'm not the guy that's lean. I'm not the top of the leaderboard every game. Ryan's, he's a wild card. Okay,
no,
he's up
it's
there.
called the showman. I'm the
You are
showman.
What's your
funny
favorite
stuff? I get a rile out of people. That's my role. And I
Calling
stick
people
to it.
hackers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, but all I'm gonna say is, I'm throwing shade here today. I'm kind of off the hinges here. Dynamic Fro, you go one in whatever again, hey, buddy, get out. I'm sorry.
Listen, last night, Luke Deej and I were on, and Corey pops on, and we wait half an hour for him because he's making a frozen pizza, and he's talking. He's
frozen pizza.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on, but first game. Listen to this. First game, we won the first three, but we went down 4-0 in the one game in Shoot House. We look at the leaderboards, 1 in 10, dynamic at the bottom.
I get it. It's low hanging fruit, and you like playing with your buddies, right? But somebody's gonna go, goose egg 1-2 in a 10-round game of search. You hope it's not yourself, but I need to see better.
We've all been there,
we have.
It happens.
The pinnacle of it, though, Dan, was last night. We were playing on Greenberg Hotel, and DJ's like, "All right, we're all banging out A right off the bat." We get wiped at A, and it's a 1v5, and Dynamic Fro's in our spawn in a corner with a shotgun. Then DJ's telling him, "You got to get somebody." Some guy walks by, Corey gets him. One shot, boom, drops him. He lays down in a corner, and I don't know what was going on. I love playing with Corey. He's hilarious. His awareness was at 0.
Yeah.
You heard a knife. This guy was trying to knife him. His legs were right in Corey's sights. He's trying to knife him, but he had the riot shield on his back. And he kept getting the riot shield. Corey popped up and dropped him. I was lost.
Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to be there. We've all been there. For myself, it's few and far between. But you got to have them guys in your on your team, in your lobby, in your game, in your party who just liven the mood a little bit. But now pay attention to this. You'll see that he's always the last one alive. I'd say 65 to 70% of the time. You're just watching Dynamic Fro, and you're like, "What are we doing? Why? What are we doing here?" The kid with the shotgun and the riot shield on the back, or he's got the RPG in the riot shield on the back. He's not going to make a play. You wish he would, but with the loadout he has, he's not going to make the play. But you're always watching him.
If there was ever an opportunity for marketing, it would be Last Stand brought to you by L4 Landscaping, because he is always in Last Stand at the most inopportune times. And that's something I look forward to every night. It's there's an intense firefight going on a bomb, and you just see Corey and Last Stand in the middle of a street.
He's just crawling backwards.
Bro, he's like, "Someone cover me."
Yeah.
Me up every time.
But yeah, I had fun. I mean, we only played 4 or 5 games of search the other night, but I had fun. I didn't think I'd have that much fun. I didn't think I'd do that well either. Shot was still feeling nice, but it's like riding a bike.
Listen, I'm fully intending on starting a stream, not getting a ton of gear, but this winter, just in terms of gaming, we have 2Ks looking phenomenal this year with all the changes they've done with the pro play and everything. MW3, the return possibly of Chill. I mean, it's a loaded slate for winter gaming this year. I'm ready for it.
So What if all three of us had setups? Is there a way to like connect all
Yeah.
three of our streams at once?
Yeah, you can multicast. Yeah, well, what do they call it? I can't remember what the hell they call that. But yes, you can. All three of our streams would be on one website, so to say, and then you could see all of our POVs and all of our faces and stuff. Yes, there is ways to do that.
I'm gonna have to crack out the old setup again.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I know, Dan, if you want to send me some recommendations today on, I'm not trying to break the bank for
No,
a
I got
capture.
you. Yeah.
No, it's not that. It's not as expensive as you think. I have like a pretty bare thing. It didn't cost that much whenever I was streaming a lot more.
Yeah.
Ryan did have he had a pretty solid. He had a I don't say like, he had a pretty solid was it Jamaican following?
Oh yeah, yeah. Whenever I was streaming on Twitch, I had this like group of Jamaican people that just loved me for whatever reason. And, like one day they went like radio silent for like 3 or 4 days. Turns out like a hurricane hit them down there. Never knew what happened to them.
Yeah. Well,
Crazy. Some tropical
you're right.
storm.
You're right down there in the Caribbean. You know, you're in the path of some bad storms that come up through there, come ripping up there. But yeah, I'll give you some recommendations, stuff that's not going to break the bank and stuff, because it's not that I'm a tech wizard or anything by any stretch of the imagination, but I've researched so much stuff. Like when I went and bought my first PC, I researched different CPUs, GPUs, RAM, all that stuff, motherboards for 6 months or so as I was saving up money. And I had enough for the one I wanted, but then I was like, well, another, I don't know, $150 I could have got one step up that, was that much better. So I feel like I have a good grasp on some of the tech stuff. And that one capture card you sent me yesterday, there are some downfalls with it, but for the price, it's not bad. You know what I mean? For like an entry level. I know I went kind of higher end because that's one of them things that I knew I wasn't going to buy again. It was just going to be like, hey, this is my end game for that. But yeah, there's ways that I'll slick you up. Don't worry.
Yeah, 'cause I'm just hooking up to a MacBook Air. That's all I'm using. So that's what I'll be. But looking forward to that. But before we get into the Steelers, I just want to get into. I'm pumped. I had my first fantasy draft Friday, salary cap league. Next Saturday at 7:00, Youngzers
We are having our draft.
League fantasy football draft live on YouTube.
Year 2.
We're going to be holding. It's going to be a closed door meeting. Some of the GMs from last year have some, grievances to attend to. Josias, the new GM in the league, he'll be in Indianapolis, so he'll be FaceTiming in for some of it. But we have some rule changes, and we've discussed them a little bit before the pod today. But I wanted to kick off with the one that I think is going to be the most impactful. That's going to be up for a group vote. So as we all know, it is a punishment league. Jake Guard, we're going to have to discuss what's going on here on Saturday. So sorry about that. Last place. We have the league history. We can go back and look. But last year we did the top 6 teams, got into the winners bracket with the top 2 getting buys for the first round of the playoffs. I'd like to change that. So this is a punishment league, and the stakes should be higher, correct? I'm assuming you both agree with me.
Yes.
And I don't want this to be I don't want this to be a participation trophy league, so I'm going to propose the following change. Only the top seed gets a bye, and the top 5 teams get into the winners bracket, bottom 5 teams into the losers bracket.
I don't think there should be a bye at all. That's just me. I don't think anybody should, because you don't see it very often, but any given Sunday, the Browns could go beat the Chiefs, right? And you have to play. So if you're the number 1 seed, you should, why should they get to skate through? No, I think that they should have to play that week.
So you're thinking it should be all one big bracket, though?
No. The winners bracket should have its
bye
own.
at all.
Yeah, no
so
bye at all.
You
have your top, what? It would have to be 4 teams?
5,
6? 4? 6?
4.
6 doesn't work. 4. Yeah, I think top 4.
That would be making more people sweat. That'd be
4. What do we have? We have 10 or 12.
I honestly don't think the losers bracket really contributes to the loser, though, from what we saw last year. Because it didn't shake out how we thought after everybody won and lost the games at the end. Right?
I mean, yeah.
Who knows? We'll figure it out.
Or I know you might see this as a participation, since we have 10 teams, correct? Everybody
Yep.
make the playoffs, but then that's going to extend playoffs. It's going to start a week earlier, 2 weeks earlier. So that wouldn't work. Maybe we do the top 5 teams with a bye, because then that would work. We'll figure it out. But
that's just a lot of logistic thinking. I know we wanted to talk about fantasy football and what our league was going to be, and Andrew had a couple rule proposals, and I think we were in the middle of talking about the second one where I said, let's just record because we'll be talking fantasy anyway. So Andrew, if you're going to go on that point you're talking about like half an hour ago.
Which drafting 2 kickers and 2 defenses each team has to, or
one after that? What was the one after that? First of all, I don't really like, yeah.
The waiver wire. So each team, that kind of went into it where certain amount of transactions in a year, and then if you go over, say, 15 or 20 transactions, every one after that, it's a $5 fee, and it goes into a pot for the end of the year.
I really don't think I made that many transactions, though. I made like one a week, maybe at most. Maybe.
You're looking at 15 to 17.
Be like 15, yeah.
But there's people like the one year in the one work league I did this where I was playing a guy and both of his quarterbacks got hurt the week before, and I knew I was playing them, so I roster churned. I picked up, and it was on Jacksonville Josh. That was, he was on last year.
Yeah.
So it was the week the Steelers were playing the Jaguars, and he was going to the game. And I picked up and dropped every quarterback except for Blake Bortles. So he had to start him against the Steelers, and he had to suffer when he went to the game. That is what I did. I literally made like probably close to 20 moves just that week alone, just adding and dropping every quarterback so he couldn't. Yeah. So that's going to prevent that because I was planning to do that this year, just to screw some people over. I mean, I'll play dirty, but that, prevents that. Yeah.
And I get it. There's people like myself. I might have made 2 to 3 free agency moves last year, and that's what hurts me. It does. But I work with a guy who he's got a drop guy in every fantasy he plays: basketball, football, hockey, baseball. He's got a couple drop guys, and he goes in every day, like for them longer seasons, and drops a guy, picks a guy up, drops a guy, picks a guy up. And I understand you have to do that in those longer leagues, but he's got a drop guy in football. Every week in football, he'll drop a receiver and pick up another receiver, somebody who's playing against like the worst defense and stuff like that. I get it that that's what you kind of have to do to win sometimes, but to a point, I feel like it's won or lost at the draft as long as you can get away from injury and your team isn't hurt. So I would be in for something like that, or put some sort of cap on how many free agency moves you can make, picking guys up off the wire.
So
I say like there's like those where like, it's more like the technical part of it where we're doing that, but there's also like side bets I'd like to see this year from like a commissioner's perspective. Dan, could you take your hat off for a second, please? So as you can see, Dan's got some good flow. He's got some great flow, right? I'm sure everyone's familiar with the Donald Trump versus Vince McMahon storyline from WrestleMania in the early 2000s. I would like to propose Dan versus Gary. Whoever finishes higher gets to shave the other one's head.
Beard isn't going to go for that. I'm telling you right now.
Nah, Gary's got something good there.
Gary's got that.
I'm just proposing it. Hypothetically, if Gary agrees, would you
yes,
agree to do that?
I would do it. Or if anybody else in the league agrees, I would do it. I know Gary probably won't, especially Gary's wife wouldn't go for it either. Gary's wife loves his long hair, and he's been growing that stuff. Oh man, I'm not even kidding. 10, 12 years. It's long.
What about beard versus beard?
I don't have a beard. He would not. I have one picture of Gary. Me and Gary were best friends back in high school. Back to 7th grade, I have one picture with Gary without a beard, and it's in shop class in 7th grade, and because he just shaved. That guy has had that's why I call him Beard. Yeah, that's why he's my buddy. I'm telling you right now, he wouldn't go for either of those.
No, I think if Gary's feeling confident after last year. He's the champion.
He sent me a picture today. He was rubbing it in. Oh, I got to show you. He said he just got some hardware, and like I agree with him because I won the one fantasy league and I had to go buy, but he got a championship ring. Well, I mean, why not? You know, I'm all right with that. He's defending champ. I don't think he goes for it, but he does know that I don't have the best of luck when it comes to fantasy football. I really don't. Every time I draft a high end running back like early, they end up getting hurt. I think I went 4 years in a row at the one league. Adrian Peterson coming off that big year, he got hurt. I can't remember Johnson, right, from Arizona.
David Johnson.
Ended up breaking his wrist like the second game. Yeah. Dalvin Cook got hurt for me. Like, I have terrible luck. And I've even tweeted, like, if you're a running back and I draft you, you're going to get hurt. So he might feel confident, but I don't think he would risk it because it is a game of chance. When it comes down to it, anybody could win. The year I won the championship, going into the Monday Night Football game, and I'll remember this forever. I was down 40 points. I had Allen and Diggs going. They both went off for 40 together. I mean, I just needed one. I needed them to combine for 40, and they went off for 40 each. It's a game of chance. I don't think he goes for it.
See, I don't know. Gary, I think he might go for it, to be honest. I mean, he's a guy that I think he likes taking chances. He's feeling confident. He knows you have bad luck. And, I mean, if he has the chance to, shave your head, WWE style, do you think he's going to pass up that opportunity?
Absolutely not. He won't pass up that opportunity. Absolutely not. But
that's what I mean.
I think he looks at it realistically and knows that it could be him in that barber chair.
It could be. So that's one that like I was thinking about last night. And then the other one, I'd like to see Ryan and DJ have a little side match just for purely, DJ would be sweating every week. He'd be worried, and Ryan would be chirping him, getting in his head, making him.
That's the thing. Like, whenever he beats me in something virtual, like, it's not a surprise. But I'm always like there, and whenever I'm ahead of him, or I beat him in something, like that's when he gets mad. So it would be, but I don't know what would you put up as a bet?
See, I don't know. And there's also more controversy this week because Gary is claiming that he gets to name DJ's future child at the draft night. So
but
that's gonna be another point of contention.
How about like winner can't play like Xbox for a week or something, or loser can't play for a whole week?
Right, dude. He'd be fiending, man. I need to get on that Xbox.
He'd be on his little PC. He wouldn't listen,
No,
he wouldn't stick up to it.
What about more of like a loser leaves town match where like they can't, they just can't play Xbox for like a month or something like that. You should do. Would be great. PC versus console. If you beat DJ, he has to give you his PC.
You know what we should do?
Pink slips.
Can I add like a situation to vote for? So you want to double up on like a certain position in the draft and no one else has picked one yet. We have like the greedy rule and you have to get like wet. We just pour like a bucket of water on you.
I mean,
it'd be in your house. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, that's on you there.
All right.
There's a lot that like we could potentially do this week, but we'll see. Like Josias, I think would be down for some side bets.
I think that would liven up the because then we could get some rivalries going here. This team versus that team, and it's a big week coming up, and we can even make that a point to talk about too. We could break down people's teams and for that week's matchup, and then you're like, oh well, Dan's playing Gary this week or Ryan's playing DJ this week. I'm trying to think
an eyebrow bet, like who loser has to shave their eyebrow. I wouldn't risk that. That's crazy. Because what if they just don't grow back?
Mach, you should have a side bet with Double R. Loser has to do a blowjob shot.
Yeah. I'd leave the league. I'd leave.
But
which round you do have to get that graphic up this week of Rio, the first one ever to be barred. He's
after one year.
Not even a year. He didn't make it a year.
What time are we drafting on Saturday, correct?
7 o'clock draft Saturday, so try to be there around 6, a little before.
If Ryan, if it's cool that I come over like 5:30, I set everything up, and if you have any graphics, send them to me, and we get everything set up and stuff, get good right angles and stuff, and all that jazz.
Luke is getting the draft board, so we'll have that up. But we'll do like we did last year. Since Josias won't be here, we'll do it online, but we'll have the picks.
Yeah, we'll put them up there for him. Your cousin isn't going to be there either, right?
Will be. He's coming, but he's coming home for
okay, cool.
week.
Cool. But I think that way, I was even thinking maybe bringing some extra headsets over if we want to like shoot the shit with some people and kind of get like some questions. You know, we could sit someone down and we can interview them. You know, and shoot the shit. You know, why'd you pick this guy? You know, all the experts said he was going to drop and stuff. We can finagle some things.
Should we do I'm going to propose a team rule that I think everyone will agree with. It'll probably be a 9-1 vote. The answer: not draft anybody that went to Ohio State.
Yeah, I'm in on that. Majority rules.
We can do that. Make like a little Price is Right game where you have to like flip a card and you can't do whatever's on that card.
Well, here's the thing: how are we determining the draft order?
Like I said, I know it's a punishment league, and I don't think the previous year should have any bearing on it. I think we should just randomize it again. I think that's the fair, since it is a punishment league, I think that's the only fair way to do it because it's all by chance. So I think it should just be
really isn't a punishment, honestly.
Yeah,
so here's what we did Friday. How we determined our league: the commissioner had 9 cups set up and a number on each bottom of them. Kind of like it was, filled with water. You throw the pong ball, whatever, in. I hit mine. I got the number 3 cup.
Okay.
So that doesn't mean I got the 3rd pick though. You get to pick where you draft.
So whoever has who has the number 1 cup says, "Oh, I want to pick 7th," and then second is 4th, and then you got the pick. I don't mind that.
I got the 3rd pick, and then I got the 3rd cup. I picked. I thought number 5.
Okay.
I wanted to pick 5.
You're Josias. You said is he the only one that's not going to be there? I know Gary said he's going to be there. Okay. Yeah. Because I don't want it to be unfair for somebody that's not going to be there. Is Gucci going to be there?
Should be.
I know he wasn't there last year.
Robert will be close. He is going to the pit game before, so we'll see what happens with that.
Playing Wofford. He said he's leaving at like halftime.
Yeah, that's going to be over in the first quarter. Okay, as long as it's not unfair, if Josias is okay with that, since he's not going to be there, almost getting the last cup, if he's okay with that, because it's still by chance, it could be, he could have the first choice, the number 1 cup could still be there. I'm okay with that.
We can do the same thing. I just have like a deck of cards. We have 10 people.
Yeah.
I'll just do like ace to jack or something, or ace to 10, and then we'll give each person a card, and then that'll be the order. Ace 1.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to do ace to 5. Ace, what? King, queen, jack, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Just pick a card.
Like numbers 1 to 10, but whichever one.
Oh, so no, we'll do ace down because ace is the highest card. So ace, king, queen, jack, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Yeah, and then whatever you get. So if you get the whatever, the 5th, you're 5th in line to pick where you want, basically.
No, if you get the 5, you're last in line. It's the lowest card. If you have the ace, that's the number 1. You could pick wherever you're going to pick. You get the first selection. Okay.
So whoever draws the low cards.
Ace 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Because then you just know your number instead of looking at the face.
Okay, we could do that. Ace is the 1, but it would technically be the lowest card in that situation. So that's less confusing. We could do that. That's fine. Ace through 10.
That's the least of our worry.
All right, that's fine. And then that way we can even say, "Hey, Josias, which one do you want?" And he could say, "Oh, the 4th one from the right," and then you could show him on FaceTime or what. Does he have Discord?
I don't know.
If he does, we can wire him right in or Skype or something. We could figure that out too. That's why I said I wanted to come over a little early and get everything set up.
His direct quote to me yesterday was, I can FaceTime in from the hotel pool for some nonsensical action with the
That's
laughing emoji. So
that's
that's
fine.
Josiah's typical Irish fashion will be providing something from Indianapolis. He might take Anthony Richardson in the first round, Jonathan Taylor. Who knows? He's a wild card right now.
I like it. I do.
So
I know this doesn't have any bearing, but I'm gonna forget. Do you guys want? Are we doing anything for food?
we could just order pizzas like we did last year. I mean, DJ almost gave his credit card number over the live stream in case anyone remembers that in the background.
I paid for it.
Like
You did, but DJ was like reading it off. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that was it.
Because I was
do
thinking
like toppings roulette too. That could be like a fun little game.
Some anchovies. But
credit card roulette. Who's buying food?
Because Amanda mentioned if you wanted us to make something, I was gonna make like little sliders, like ham and cheese sliders, pizza sliders, and stuff, and bring those over. If you guys didn't want to get pizza, but if you guys want to get pizza, that's fine.
I could get some wings from Buffalo Bills. Bring them over.
Yeah. Oh, Buffalo Bills wings are really good. Really good.
Yeah.
You can make a couple bean witches for everybody.
No.
I don't know what a bean witch is.
You basically smashed a bunch of random beans into patties and put them in the air fryer and ate them.
Are they good?
Just disgusting.
They were horrible.
Disgusting.
That's fair.
We'll have to discuss some of these side bets and everything, but it's gonna be shaping up to be a good Saturday.
I think so, and I think if you do make a side bet with somebody, bring it to the commish, bring it to Ryan, bring it to me, and then we can sign off on it so we know, hey, you both agree to it, it's law now. So, and then if we have any, like if I want to make one with you, Montz, we got to take it to Ryan. That way, like it's not conflict of interest. He's got the final say on it, so.
And I would also like to put in a safeguard for this. So once you're in the league, you're in the league, no quitting. There will be a punishment this year for people who do quit. Our cousin who's coming back home for Labor Day weekend, he's down in North Carolina working for Tread Athletics, doing baseball training. If you quit the league early or you go back on one of your bets, you get a 95-mile-per-hour fastball to the ribs.
Yeah, I'll wear it.
Yeah.
Tape them things up. I'll wear it.
What about if you quit after the season?
Then you're barred forever. You're barred for life.
Yeah,
you're done
for life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to have integrity here and be honest men.
We should do like how the Browns used to do a jersey of quarterbacks? We should do that of like people that are barred from the league. So like you just have like Leonard at the top, like Rio.
What number would we put on there? What's a bad number? Like 5. 5's a bad number.
13.
All right. And then we'll get like a custom Youngzers, as say Youngzers, and then 13. And Mario, you're up top. Leonard, you're barred for life. Who wants to be next? And we'll just keep taping them down there.
Yeah, that's what we'll do. So, yeah, we got a good week coming up.
Winners. So it'll be like Gary at the top, or like then he just do like the jersey of winners. It'll be like a Stanley Cup, but of like winners. So eventually you'll just basically have a cape of names attached to a jersey.
Yeah.
I like it. I like
it.
I
know. And I'm just looking at the time right now. We got about 10 minutes before we got a hard stop. So Steelers, they won. They beat the brakes off the Falcons this week. We'll probably get a little more into it next Sunday after the roster cuts on Tuesday. That way we can, we'll have more to talk about obviously there. But I know Ryan said he has multiple Jags this week, and I'm intrigued by that. So yeah, I want to hear these Jags.
So which one do you want? Restaurant Jag or just like road Jag?
Both preferably.
Which one first though?
Restaurant.
All right. So yesterday we were at a restaurant. It's called like Turn. It's like a new restaurant out in like Wexford. They have golf simulators and like a restaurant kind of bar area on the other side. Used to be an old Quaker steak up there.
Oh yeah. Dan knows there.
We didn't do the simulator side, just Grace and I. And so we're sitting there eating we didn't eat our food. We got like a couple of drinks. We're sitting there. There's a table to our right. There's these two people that like obviously were husband and wife, just miserable with each other. Like you could just tell like they hated their guts. In the middle was a bowl of hummus and like, pita chips. So the guy's like eating them. and the woman's just like shaking her head. Waitress comes over. She's like, "How is everything?" The lady's like, they were not happy with the hummus. They were absolutely irate with this hummus. The guy says, "It tastes funny, not haha funny, funny weird." Like, he's eating this hummus, and first of all, you get hummus at a restaurant, Jag. First of all, and then like saying it's like doesn't taste right. Like, come on, like it's You can't screw up hummus. First of all, no, it's just smashed up chickpeas.
Yeah, it's gross.
So, like, why order hummus at a restaurant and then say it tastes funny and be all, like, PO'd all the time? Like, sitting there with your arms crossed. I don't know. Just a Jag. Made a big deal about it. So, thoughts on that one?
Don't order hummus if you go out to a golf simulator, and hummus is just weird.
And the thing was, they had, like, a pretty nice menu of, like, all these different appetizers. Like, hummus was at the bottom of the rung.
Like, I get it. Hummus might be your go-to, but you leave that at home. You don't do hummus at a restaurant. I'm sorry. Not a hummus guy myself. I've tried it. I just can't do it. It's just the texture, the consistency, because I'm a big texture guy, and it's just like mush. There's just something about it. I can't get past it. I leave the hummus at home. I don't even leave it at home. I leave it at the store. But if you want to complain about the hummus, and that's the worst thing that's going on for you that day, and you want to complain about it, you're a Jag.
Hold on, I'm going to read you some of the appetizers on here.
I do have a funny story about hummus. Speaking of that, though, while Ryan's looking the menu up.
So they ordered the house-made hummus, sun-dried tomato, oil served with pita bread or tricolor chips. That was, it says vegan, so that was like the vegan option for the whole menu. This is what they passed up on. Cauliflower bites, meatballs, quesadilla, cast iron skillet dip, deluxe wings, calamari, sausage and peppers, ahi tuna, charcuterie board, house chips, pepperoni fried potatoes, chicken meatballs. Like, out of all that, where is hummus on there for you?
Last.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, even if it was like the only option, I'm not doing an app.
Yeah, exactly.
So good hummus story though. Senior year basketball. Coach Davies was also our POD teacher that year, and I think it was my civics. I forget which class. I am mixed up, but he brought in hummus for the class. For us to try. Guns, Germs, and Steel. We're reading it, trying hummus. There was one kid in the class that would not eat the hummus. Any guesses who, Dan?
In your class?
My class. Also a basketball player.
Somebody that only eats chicken tenders and candy.
Was it DJ?
Yep. And as we're doing conditioning the first week, we're doing our sprints. Coach just, he's watching. He's our DJ Oberdorf. Too good to try hummus and new foods. So we're running. I'm laughing. So, we're doing sprints, and DJ, it cost us a little bit because he couldn't branch out and eat the hummus.
So do you want my freaking Jag now? Because I know we're constrained on time.
Yeah, because I have one too.
So I had my weekly Giant Eagle trip, and this one wasn't in Giant Eagle. It was on the way home. So I make the turn back into West Leechburg, and it's like the house that has the giant garage, bigger than the house with the fenced yard. And there's a lady outside, like, chasing a dog around, like, obviously it's loose. So I pulled over and I get out of my car and I'm like trying to round it up. This dog like doesn't listen at all. This other car like pulls up. This like guy comes out. He's like making like little noises like it's a chipmunk. And like all these other cars, he's blocking the road. I at least pull it off. This guy like rolls his window down. He's like, "Get off the road!" He's like yelling. Meanwhile, this dog's trying to get like wrangled up, and it was chasing every car that went by. So I was like, "There's no point in me going. It's just gonna chase like the car. And I don't want to do that to this lady. She can't catch the dog." So I'm like trying to round it up, and eventually it just runs into the house.
Oh, that dog's a Jag.
Yeah, the dog was the Jag, like running around, causing like a traffic stop, and then just running into the house like nothing happened.
Dogs.
That's that.
You want to hear mine real quick?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you guys know who Bill Barnwell is on ESPN? He's
heard the name.
Yeah, he's some NFL analyst guy. I've never seen him. I was just perusing the ESPN a couple days ago. I'm going to go this far. He's not just a jag, he's a jackass, because he said the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to have a regression this year. I don't know what he's been watching.
There's an article he wrote about it.
Probably, but it was on ESPN. He said the Steelers and the Eagles are going to have regressions this year. I didn't know his other two teams. There's the only two teams I saw, but he said there was 4 teams. All I'm saying is, from everything we've seen so far, I don't see how the Steelers have a regression. But he was saying because Kenny Pickett is going to turn the ball over, he's not going to take that step. He's not that, a Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson kind of quarterback that's going to take that next step. And it just didn't sit right with me, and I just felt like he was having a jag moment because everything we've seen from the preseason, and I'm just going to rattle off a few things real quick. Kenny Pickett went 13 for 15, 199 yards. They had 5 offensive possessions when he was out there. They scored on all 5. He threw 2 or 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions. Show me where they're going to regress, because the offense is that much better. The defense is still just as good, and that was his point, that the offense is going to go out there and lose them games. I don't see it happening. Brian Barnwell, never heard of you. You're a jag.
I'm reading it right now. Yeah, this is
exactly. That's why they do those takes, because it's guys that you never heard of, and that's just to draw up conversation and buzz to their name and have people interact with them, and then they'll be like, the off chance that they're right, they'll just double down on it someday. They just do it for attention. They do it for likes, clicks. That's hot take culture in sports media these days.
And I'm sorry if you think the Eagles don't go 14-3 again. I understand, and they go, I don't know, 12-5. And you want to call that a regression, I think you're out of your mind. Because I think Jalen Hurts is still just as good. That offense is still just as good. They still have Brown over there. Their defense is still decent. I know they lost some pieces on the offensive line. Thank you. But I don't see – and I understand that they do these hot takes to drum up the conversation and get people going like I am right now, and that's his job. But – it's such a blatant, you're not watching preseason. You don't know, you're not breaking down what's going on with these teams. That's just that's my feeling, and I understand he's getting what he wants out of it because I'm talking about it, but in a negative way because he's a jag.
Fair enough.
You're right.
Yep.
Any Jags from you, Andrew?
Quiet.
So are we good to go?
Yeah, we're good to go. Big weekend coming.
It's season 2, episode 6. Get ready for fantasy draft next week. It's gonna be crazy. This is one of my favorite pod kind of things we've done the past year. It's something I always look forward to, which I guess was only one time. So yeah, but look forward to it. It'll be fun.
Just real quick, gents. It's that time of year. Pumpkin cold brew's back. I'm wearing a hoodie. The football's right around the corner. Let's get going, gents.
Let's roll.
Dad, Ryan, send us off.
All right. See you next week. Subscribe.